Here at NexGenEsis Healthcare, Dr. Joe Furman and Dr. Abhishek Reddy are helping patients find relief from joint pain and nerve pain like neuropathy. So we have come to their clinic in Bel Air to learn a little bit more about how they do it.
Here at NexGenEsis, we like to offer patients a different type or alternative treatments for pain relief. A lot of times they're told that they can only undergo surgery or take medications to help with their pain, and we offer alternative treatments that really help improve their quality of life.
Wow, and that helps for nerve pain, which is neuropathy.
Correct.
Also joint pain. Let's talk about joint pain, because we all have a lot of joints. Do you treat all of those joints?
We treat almost every joint in the body. Most of the time patients come in and they're dealing with what we call osteoarthritis. This is really that breakdown of that joint space, that cartilage, which leads to bone-on-bone friction, can cause a lot of pain for patients, decreased mobility, pain, and decreased overall quality of life.
What might be a traditional treatment for that kind of joint pain, and how are you guys treating people differently?
Yeah, so traditional standard treatment is going to involve some form of physical therapy, medications, whether that be oral or topical, injections, including steroid injections or viscosupplementation, and then if those don't work, patients are typically referred to have surgery. A lot of times patients are not able to or unwilling to undergo surgery, and we offer those alternative types of treatments with minimal downtime to help patients that are in this position.
You've helped many people find relief from pain, whether it's neuropathy or joint pain. For one particular patient, Dorian Castro, he was suffering back pain and you were able to help him.
He had a lot of arthritis in his lower back, in those facet joints that are right on either side of the spine. We were able to use some of his own biologics, reintroduce them into those affected areas and kind of help him with that recovery or regeneration process, and really helped him relieve a lot of his pain and get back his quality of life.
When you say you use someone's own biologics, what does that mean?
So we actually extract their own healthy cells, their growth factors, their molecules. We concentrate them down, and then we can reintroduce them into the affected areas to promote a healing environment.
Thank you, doctor. Doing wonderful.
Good, good.
Dr. Furman, Mr. Castro.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh my
Wow.
goodness, Mr. Castro, you really had access to cutting edge therapies here at NexGenEsis.
Yes, I have.
How would you explain that to people who would have not had access to the kind of therapies you have had access to here?
I think this interview that we're doing is a great way to be introduced to it. It's not something that you would hear about normally. It's not the conventional medicine.
Because you were taking medication that wasn't helping heal you. You were taking medication that was really masking the pain that you were in.
Right, I was taking medication that was, I think it was just worse than actual pain. And that's what forced me to locate the doctor and pull out that number and give him a call. Because I was at my wit's end, definitely.
You had a lot of back pain, you also had neuropathy.
That's right.
Dr. Furman, how is it that you treat neuropathy or nerve pain here at NexGenEsis?
Yeah, so we have lots of different treatment options, just kind of depending on the type and severity of the nerve damage that is happening. Different treatments like laser and light treatments, acoustic compression or shockwave therapy, nerve plates, nerve re-education, supplements, even the patient's own biologics, things like PRP, to introduce those healthy cells so that the patient can essentially heal themselves.
And you're using this instead of surgeries or other treatments that people might be prescribed?
Yeah, so typically when it comes to neuropathy, patients are prescribed things like gabapentin, Lyrica. These do nothing to stop the progression or reverse the neuropathy. So we work to stop that progression, and then once we stop that, we work to reverse the neuropathy with those treatments we just discussed.
Wow, that's amazing. And what did you do for Mr. Castro?
So for Mr. Castro, we've used a lot of different treatment options for him, things like the acoustic compression that I mentioned earlier that kind of sparks that healing process in the area, as well as the laser treatments, even introducing his own biologics, into that affected area of the lower back that helped both the lower back and his neuropathy.
Mr. Castro, tell us about a day in your life before you were able to have treatment here at NexGenEsis.
It was horrible. Man, I'd wake up after a night of neuropathy and terrible brain fog. I couldn't function. I was awake, but it was, like I was dreaming, sleeping.
How much pain were you in, and how much pain are you in now?
Oh, I was a 9, and now, man, I'm pretty close to 0.
Dr. Furman, that's a big thing with people, is that the pain starts. When do you know that it's time to come and visit a doctor?
Yeah, and kind of like what Dorian just said, you know, once you start noticing that progression and maybe that typical medical model is not working for you, you just don't want to let it get to a point where maybe there won't be any help, right? Maybe it gets to a point where we cannot help you. So it's always best to get in earlier rather than later to get things checked out and see if we can help you.
What is it like thinking back to those days before you had treatment?
I wish I'd have started earlier. I wish I hadn't waited, you know, so long. But it's just a matter of knowing that this exists, you know, that this treatment exists. It's out there for you.
And NexGenEsis does have a special offer for Houston Life viewers. If you are one of the first 50 callers that mentions Houston Life, you will receive a free phone consultation with a provider to determine if you are a good candidate for an in-office examination.
The phone number is 832-570-4529, and you can always find out more by visiting NexGenesisHealthcare.com.